Hi everyone, I am here with a update video on the Intellivision system I've been working on since I received it for free from the guy that I bought the Commodore 128 from. So the issue I've been having with the system does work. However, every time, like sometimes I would like turn it on, sometimes it will come up as a black screen, while other times it will just come on as a game booting up. But the thing is, when I press the reset button, which was suggested by someone that I do, it just brings the game back up, even though I get a black screen. So I posted a video about that, and I got a few other suggestions that they might be like a recapping of the board. And excuse me if I'm playing with my hair. I really need a haircut, but I'm slouching down. I don't want that to happen. And I reached out to Luke from Console 5 about this, and he told me at first, like, reset the system to see if that does the trick, and it does, and he thinks it's one of the capacitors that's going bad, which is a C26 on the motherboard, which I think is next to the RF box. And I just got the capacitors in from him today. I went with axial capacitors. Hold on. I have the email up from him. Yeah, I went with the axial capacitors for like the power supply because I don't want to mess around with the radial capacitors to make some creative like changes to the board. Since these were originally designed for the axial capacitors, which I have right here, 2 of them, or I think like 3 or like 5 of them, yeah. And one of the capacitors he sent to me was something that could replace the C26 capacitor, which is, if I can reach it. Come on. It's this one. Oh, geez, this one right here. And I'm thinking the capacitor here, the C26, is right there. So that's a pretty noticeable difference in the size, but capacitors have gotten smaller over time, as I've been told. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing he wanted me to do was replace this capacitor with this one to see if that will do the trick, and then I have to get back to him about it. So that will be interesting to check out to see whether or not it works. And if it does work, then I will tell him about it. But I think I have to get in touch with them first to see what side I have to put it in. But I don't know if that makes any difference, because I want to know the polarity, which side is positive and which one's negative. So unless it's marked on here, which I do not see, I will have to get in touch with him about that. So in the next clip, I will be showing you me removing the old C26 capacitor and replacing it with a new one. So I will catch you then. Alright, so I am back with this clip. I'm going to be installing the capacitor into the C26, which is not here, but it's actually right here. And I reached out to Luke about the polarity of this, and it's non-polar, since the original Mattel part was non-polar as well. So, and I don't see like a negative strip on this, so it doesn't matter which way I put it in. So we're gonna go and get this replaced, and then I'm gonna test it out to see whether or not it did the trick. But first, I gotta use flux pen for this, just so I can get a better flow to this. And I'm sorry if you cannot see this well. I don't have the kind of equipment for up aerial like a GoPro camera or something to shoot above me. And I will be getting those one of these days. But right now, I want to use my soldering iron and heat it up. Where's my... Okay. Get some... And I'm wearing a mask because I don't want to get much like solder smoke on me. So I want to flow this capacitor, these 2 legs first, before I desolder it. And I don't own a desoldering gun yet, but I think by next month I will be able to own one. I think they're about like $245 right now on Amazon. So now that's done, I want to desolder the legs. I hope I got the right ones. Originally I used like a solder pump, but that really didn't do any favors for me. So I'm kind of concerned because it doesn't look like it'll come out freely. And I want it to come out freely just in case this capacitor doesn't work. I can always put it back in. So let me reflow that again. This might take a while, so bear with me. God, I wish I had a desoldering gun, which would help with like the legs. Oh, there's some solder built onto that as well. That's good. So, I think my needle nose pliers would help out, but I'm not entirely sure yet. I've got to... So let me don't want to be touching that capacitor since it could be hot. Cutters. I really don't like it when capacitors are this stubborn. I just want to make sure I don't remove the leads by accident. Otherwise, I'll be really, really sad. Oh, one leg's free. Let's heat up that leg to fully remove it. Okay. As you can see, that's C26. So I'll just leave that on the side for now. And I'm going to soak up the rest of the solder. Actually, I want to reflow that bit just so I can get all of it off. Okay, so as you can see, it's removed there, so I'm not sure how well you can see it focus, but yeah, that's what we're gonna have to go with. So now I want to take this tiny capacitor and put it in here. And like Luke said, it doesn't matter which way I put it in. Oh, for God's sakes. Okay, I had to jump forward because I was running out of space on my phone to record, which is why I needed a camera of my own. But as you can see, I soldered the new capacitor in here, so I'm going to jump cut to where I hook this up, and then we'll see whether or not this solved the issue. Alright, so I'm back with the new capacitor replaced, and we're going to see how this works. This is the only TV I have out of all the like 3 to 4 CRTs that I can find that could be hooked up to the RF right now. This one, still having issues with, but anyways, let's give this a go. Come on. Now, it does power out. It does seem to work. Now, the problem I had with this was whenever I kept powering on and off over and over again, sometimes I get a black screen, sometimes I get no game, and sometimes I would get a fuzzy image. So, let's try that. And it's a Konami game, if you could believe that. Now if I press restart, yes, it does exactly what it does. Though for some odd reason, the volume is like louder than what it is when you first power it on, as opposed to resetting. Like this. No, hear it being turned on. I really don't understand that. Now hear this when I reset. I imagine that has something to do with one of the capacitors, but I'm not sure, which is why I bought the kit in the first place. So, it seems to work over and over. I'm not having that issue anymore, but I'll continue off screen to see what I've come upon in my diagnosis. So, I will catch you when I fully get all the caps replaced and get it fully back assembled, and we'll test it out, and I will see you then. Alright, so I have the capacitors recapped, and I'm going to show you whether or not it's working. So, yeah, still works, even with the new capacitor replacement. So, I'm going to get this all assembled, and I'll be back when I have it all assembled. Alright, so I got this Intellivision assembled, and I'm about to power it on, see what comes about. Look at that. I don't have the issue anymore, so thank you, Luke, for the capacitors, especially the C26. I really appreciate it, and this is going to help out a lot, especially when I sell this, because now the buyers will be able to see how much work has been put into this, and they know they're getting a really good system that's been repaired. So, yeah, thank you for joining me. The issue was with the C26 capacitor, which I do recommend picking up from Luke from Console 5, and I'll put a link in the description below. So, thank you all for joining me, and until next time, I will see you all later.